This is the story of the only unsolved skyjacking in American aviation history. The perfect crime committed by a ghost. It wasn't a violent terrorist or a screaming madman. It was a polite, middle-aged guy in a business suit who ordered a bourbon and soda, smoked a cigarette, and then vanished into thin air with $200,000, never to be seen again. His name on the ticket was Dan Cooper, but the world knows him as the legendary D.B. Cooper. It all began on Thanksgiving Eve, November 24, 1971. A man buying a one-way ticket from Portland to Seattle aboard Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305. He looked like any other business traveler. Black raincoat, dark suit, a neatly pressed white shirt and sunglasses. He sat in seat 18C in the back of the Boeing 727. Shortly after takeoff, while the plane was cruising peacefully, Cooper calmly handed a folded note to the flight attendant, Florence Schaffner. She thought he was just another businessman trying to give her his phone number, so she dropped it in her purse unread. Cooper leaned toward her and whispered 8 words that changed everything. "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." He opened his briefcase just enough for her to see red cylinders, wires, and a large battery. His demands were oddly specific. $200,000 in $20 bills and 4 civilian parachutes, 2 main chutes and 2 reserves. He didn't want military parachutes. He wanted the kind you can steer. The pilot contacted Seattle Air Traffic Control. The FBI scrambled. When the plane landed in Seattle, the authorities decided to cooperate. In a tense exchange on the tarmac, Cooper released all 36 passengers in exchange for the money bags and the parachutes. But he kept 4 crew members on board as hostages. He ordered the pilot to take off again, heading south towards Mexico City. But this time the flight was different. He demanded they fly low, under 10,000 feet, at a very slow speed, and crucially, that the cabin remain unpressurized. Sometime around 8 p.m., flying through a freezing rainstorm over the dense forests of Washington state, Cooper did something incredible. He asked the crew to go into the cockpit and close the door. Alone in the cabin, he strapped the money to his body, put on 2 parachutes, and lowered the aft air stairs, a unique feature of the Boeing 727 that allowed stairs to open from the rear of the tail in mid-flight. The pilots in the cockpit felt a sudden change in cabin pressure. Their ears popped. When they finally landed in Reno, Nevada, the rear stairs were hanging down, scraping the runway. The cabin was empty. D.B. Cooper, the money, and 2 parachutes were gone. For decades, the FBI conducted one of the largest manhunts in history. They searched vast areas of wilderness, interviewed hundreds of suspects, and released a famous composite sketch of the man in sunglasses. They found nothing, not a body, not a parachute, not a dollar bill. Until 9 years later, in 1980, a young boy digging a fire pit on a sandy riverbank found 3 rotting bundles of cash. The serial numbers matched the ransom money, but instead of solving the mystery, it only deepened it. Was the money washed ashore because Cooper died in the jump? Or did he bury some of it as a distraction while he escaped with the rest? In 2016, the FBI officially closed the active investigation. The man in seat 18C pulled off the most audacious heist of the 20th century. To this day, nobody knows who he was, or if he survived that jump into the cold, dark night.